Imposter syndrome is a lie. 3 brain hacks to stop feeling like a fraud. You hit the goal, collect the praise, and still feel like a fraud. That knot in your stomach? It's not truth, it's a brain pattern, and it's trained to ignore wins. You've been told to believe in yourself, but your nervous system isn't convinced. Today, I'll show you 3 neuroscience-backed brain hacks that break the loop fast. We'll expose the validation trap, install a safety signal your brain can trust, and lock proof into your identity so confidence sticks. Most advice argues with feelings. We'll change the signals. First, let's name the real problem so your brain stops moving the goalposts. The real problem, the external validation circuit. Here's the thing most people miss. Imposter feelings aren't a character flaw, they're a prediction error. Your brain runs on a prediction model, safe or not safe, certain or uncertain. When you step into uncertainty, new role, public post, high-stakes meeting, your brain flags threat. It scans for fast reassurance, and the easiest place to grab it is outside you. Likes, praise, titles, approvals, that's the external validation circuit. Why does chasing proof never feel like enough? Moving goalposts. Relief hits, then the bar shifts. You publish one good post. Now it doesn't count unless the next one performs better. You close a deal. Your brain quietly upgrades the benchmark. Dopamine explains part of this. You get a spike when validation lands, but baselines adapt. The spike fades faster than you think, and you end up craving the next hit just to feel normal. The relief becomes the reward, not the work itself. There's a hidden cost. When approval steers your choices, creativity shrinks. You pick safe, predictable moves that preserve praise instead of useful learning-rich moves that might look messy. Over time, your range narrows. You're good, but brittle. And brittleness fuels more imposter feelings because growth requires uncertainty, and uncertainty keeps tripping your alarm. This is the if-then trap. If they praise me, then I'm safe. The problem? You've outsourced safety to sources you can't control. Algorithms, bosses, audiences, examiners. None of them can regulate your nervous system, so your brain stays on alert, scanning and refreshing, which looks like overprepping, polishing endlessly, or spiraling in comparison. It feels like you're being responsible, but you're feeding the alarm. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to think their way out of a safety signal problem. Affirmations, pep talks, even logic. Those are top-down tools. When your physiology is broadcasting threat, your brain filters out non-matching messages as noise. That's a prediction error at work. The data doesn't match the state, so it gets discarded. Friston's predictive coding, interoceptive inference research. You can't install confidence on a shaky nervous system. It clicked for me when I noticed the order. Performance reliably improved only after safety, not before. When I tried to earn safety with flawless execution, I just trained my brain that anxiety equals preparation. Short-term anxiety drops if you over-prepare. Long-term, your brain learns. Feel anxious, over-prepare, feel relief. Congratulations, you've wired a loop that requires anxiety to start. Negative reinforcement loop. Avoidance maintained anxiety per learning theory. Let me show you the shortcut nobody teaches. Change the signal, change the feeling. If your brain believes you're not under threat, it updates predictions. That doesn't mean you'll feel amazing instantly. It means your baseline steadies enough for your skills to show up. You stop spending mental bandwidth on self-monitoring and redirect it to the task. Interoceptive signals gate cognitive control. Think about how often you delay decisions, waiting for more certainty. That delay is your brain bargaining for a bigger safety signal. One more source, one more edit, one more rehearsal. But uncertainty never goes to zero. So you end up chasing a feeling that only comes after you act, while refusing to act until the feeling comes. That's the loop. There's also the relief cycle. You avoid by procrastinating. Anxiety goes down, temporarily reinforcing the avoidance. Or you seek quick social reassurance. Anxiety dips again. The brain stores the lesson. Avoidance and reassurance work. Next time, it triggers sooner and stronger. Over weeks, your baseline gets jumpier, and routine tasks start feeling like threats. Classic safety behaviors. Reassurance seeking maintains anxiety in CBT models. Before we continue, you need to understand that your brain is not trying to sabotage you. It's prioritizing survival with the tools you've taught it. You've trained it to trust external metrics as safety cues. That training can be updated, but you can't argue your way out. You need to feed it different inputs. So the real fix isn't louder affirmations, it's better evidence. Not evidence. Like applause, evidence your nervous system accepts, predictable breath patterns, environmental orientation, small approach behaviors that end well, and internal metrics you control. Those are safety signals, bottom-up state change preceding cognition. Once those are in place, the same affirmations and reframes suddenly start working because the message matches the state. One quick example, a student who panicked before presentations. They kept rewriting slides to feel safe. Classic over-prep loop. We swapped the habit. 3 minutes of safety cadence breathing, a 360-degree orienting scan, then a micro-approach action. Walk to the room 10 minutes early and speak the first sentence aloud to an empty space. The brain stored a success. I approached, nothing bad happened. After repeating this, they could finally use a simple reframe, and it stuck. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember the order: safety first, then performance. Feelings follow predictions, and predictions follow signals. Your job is to change the signals your brain receives. Next, I'll give you the first brain hack, a fast safety signal reset protocol you can run before high-stakes moments, so your skills don't get blocked by a jumpy nervous system. Why traditional mindset advice fails. Most advice tries to win the argument in your head, but when your body is broadcasting threat, your brain treats mismatched messages like spam. That's why classic affirmations fall flat. You repeat, "I'm confident," while your heart rate is up and palms are sweaty. The system prioritizes signals over sentences. The mismatch creates a prediction error, so the words don't install. You might feel a sugar high for a minute, then the old loop snaps back. Now, I'm not anti-affirmations. I'm anti-affirmations first. They work after you've lowered arousal and given your brain a reason to believe. Otherwise, it's like taping a motivational quote over a fire alarm. The next trap is overprep perfectionism. It feels smart because anxiety drops after you add one more tweak. But here's the catch. That relief teaches your brain that anxiety is solved by over-preparing. So the next time it demands more prep for the same task. You're building tolerance, just like caffeine. Soon, routine work eats hours, and your baseline anxiety climbs. You don't become more confident, you become more dependent on prep to feel okay. And then there's fake it till you make it. This can help if you design feedback on purpose. But most people fake it without feedback design. They imitate confidence, white knuckle through, then never close the loop. No debrief, no captured proof, no adjustments. That burns you out because the brain never gets the data that says we approached and it went fine. Without that, it stores. We survived despite danger, which keeps the alarm armed. Approach plus debrief creates corrective prediction errors. The thing most people miss is order. Safety precedes performance, not the other way around. We try to earn safety by nailing the result. That reverses the learning. You end up reinforcing that anxiety is necessary for excellence, which is why it returns stronger before every big task. When you lead with safety, physiology first, you give your brain permission to turn down self-monitoring so your actual skills can run. Here's another reason mindset only fails. Insight isn't installation. Knowing why you feel like a fraud doesn't rewire anything by itself. Brains change through repetition of state-action pairs. You experience a settled state, you take a small approach action, it ends okay, and you repeat. That's wiring. One aha moment without reps is a nice poster, not a neural pathway. Okay, so how do we make top-down tools actually work? We match them to state. After nervous system settling, concise reframes can land because they agree with your signals. For instance, after 3 minutes of steady breathing and orientation, saying, "I can start messy and improve fast," aligns with a calmer heart rate and clearer gaze. The brain recognizes congruence and updates predictions. Let me give you a micro story. A client kept telling herself, "You've got this," before investor calls. She'd shake, speed up, talk in paragraphs. We flipped the order. 2 minutes of downshifted breathing, a slow 360 scan of the room. Then she read a one-sentence opener from the screen. Only then did she use a short reframe, one clear question at a time. Calls immediately felt less like performances and more like conversations. Same words, different timing. Another common miss, ignoring behavioral feedback. If you fake it, but never log what went well in terms of controllables, like asked 5 clarifying questions, paused before answering, kept slides to 5, you deny your brain evidence it trusts. It can't store "I improved my inputs," so it seeks external outputs again. That's how you stay stuck on outcomes. Self-efficacy grows from specific mastery evidence. And this
last piece is subtle. Many mindset tips tell you to suppress doubt, but suppression increases monitoring. More monitoring equals less bandwidth for the task and more perceived risk. Doubt isn't the enemy. It's a cue to run your safety protocol and then act. When action and safety pair repeatedly, doubt loses its power without you wrestling it. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember this. Tools fail when they fight your state, and they work when they follow it. Settle the system, then speak to it. Next, I'll teach you the safety signal reset, a 3-minute protocol that gives your brain the proof it needs so your skills can finally show up. Brain hack number 1, the safety signal reset. Your nervous system needs proof you're not under threat before your brain will stop overscanning. So we'll give it proof, fast. This is a 3-minute sensory-grounded protocol you'll run before high-stakes tasks. It does 2 things. It lowers arousal enough for your prefrontal cortex to come online, and it pairs a tiny approach action with a calm state so your brain stores, "We moved toward the thing and nothing bad happened." Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Sequence matters. We'll go breath cadence, orienting the room, then micro-approach. Think of it like booting up the calm system, confirming the environment, and then taking the smallest step toward the task. First, breath cadence. Sit or stand tall, shoulders easy. We'll use a downshift breath that's simple and reliable. Inhale through your nose for 4, hold for 1, exhale through your mouth for 6. Repeat for 10 rounds. The longer exhale signals safe to your autonomic nervous system by increasing parasympathetic, vagal tone, e.g. Porges's polyvagal theory, HRV breathing studies. If a 6 count feels long, make it 5. Keep exhale longer than inhale. Don't force a big breath. Quiet and steady wins here. If your mind wanders, fine. Bring attention back to counting. Second, orient the room. Your brain calms when it has a clear map of the space. Slowly turn your head and eyes and name 5 neutral details aloud. blue chair, window frame, white mug, plant, exit sign. Then find 3 sounds near to far. Finally, place your body in the room. Feel your feet, your seat, the contact points. This isn't woo, it's the orienting response, reducing uncertainty load. Sokolov. Threat appraisals ease when the environment is mapped. Third, micro-approach action. This is the secret step that makes everything else stick. Take a tiny step toward the task that creates contact without performance pressure. If it's a meeting, open the agenda, highlight your opener, and say your first sentence out loud once. If it's publishing, open the draft, set a timer for 60 seconds, and paste your title and first paragraph into the editor. If it's an interview, place your notes, look at the camera, and state your name and one key line. The goal is contact, not completion. Graded exposure via micro-approach reduces anticipatory threat. Now, add a simple anchor phrase. After 2 rounds of the breath and the orientation, say one short line that describes process, not outcome. One clear point at a time. Or start, then improve. Keep it under 6 words. It should cue behavior, not confidence. Confidence will follow the behavior. Where do you use this? Anywhere uncertainty spikes. Before hitting publish, before walking into a room, before a tough email, before picking up the phone. You'll get the most leverage if you run it right before action, not hours earlier. And it's portable. You can do the breath in a bathroom stall, orient using your desk objects, and do a micro approach by drafting the first sentence on your phone. Common mistakes to avoid: doing it once and calling it done, skipping the approach step, or turning the breath into a performance by trying to nail perfect counts. Another mistake is stacking too many steps. Keep it lean so you actually use it.
Breath, orient, micro approach, anchor phrase. 3 minutes, then act. Here's a quick win for today. The Publish Draft with Safety Cadence Challenge. Choose one low-stakes post. LinkedIn, a community forum, your internal Slack. Run 2 minutes of the 4 in, 1 hold, 6 out breathing. Do a 30-second orienting scan. Paste your post, read the first sentence out loud, then ship it. No editing spiral after publishing. Close the tab for 30 minutes. After, write down 3 credits. A fact you stated, a skill you used, one thing you'd improve next time. That closes the loop your brain needs. Why this works: you're feeding your nervous system bottom-up evidence that the situation is navigable. The breath shifts autonomic tone. The orienting resolves uncertainty in the environment. The micro-approach pairs movement with a calmer state, creating a memory that reduces anticipatory threat next time. Do this 5 times in a week, and you'll notice your ramp-up time shrinking and your self-monitoring quieting, if you remember.
Lana Hen yells, safety first, then move 1 inch toward the thing. Repeat until your brain updates the story. Next, we'll build the ladder that makes those signals climb from physiology into your thoughts so top-down tools finally have something solid to land on. Installing safety, the physiology to cognition ladder. Let's lock in the order so it becomes automatic. Think of a ladder: body, breath, gaze, words, action. Bottom first, then climb. When you climb it in sequence, your brain accepts the message because each layer agrees with the one beneath it. When you skip rungs, like jumping straight to words, you get that sounds nice, not true feeling. Start with body. Soften your jaw, drop your shoulders, uncross anything that's bracing. Feet planted or weight balanced if you're standing. The body is the first broadcast channel. If you're clenched and tiny, your system hears threat no matter what you say later. 2 slow shrugs up, exhale and let them fall. That's your on switch. Now breath. Use the downshift cadence you learned. Longer exhale than inhale. 2 minutes is enough. The reason this works is simple. You're shifting autonomic tone, which tells your prediction system, we're not sprinting from danger. Keep it quiet, light, steady. This part is about consistency, not depth. Next is gaze. Most people miss this, but it's huge. Narrow tunnel vision screams threat. Soft, wider vision says safe enough. So widen your field by relaxing the muscles around your eyes and taking in the edges of the room. Do a slow 180-degree sweep. Let your eyes land on stable objects for a second or 2, then move on. That orienting reduces uncertainty in the physical environment, which frees up cognition, peripheral vision, and parasympathetic shift. Visual field expansion reduces arousal. Only after body, breath, and gaze do we bring in words. Keep phrases short and process-focused. Think of them like code that calls the right behavior. Try 1 clear step, slow is smooth, or ask, then answer. If you hear yourself reaching for big identity statements, that's a sign you skipped the lower rungs. Go back down, settle, then speak. Finally, action. Not the whole task, just the smallest viable approach that creates contact. Open the doc and type the first line. Click join and read your prepared opener. Hit record and state the title. This is where the learning installs. You're pairing a calmish state with approach behavior. Do that repeatedly and the brain updates its predictions about this context. Here's a mini case from last month. A client dreaded sales calls and compensated with huge prep decks. We shrunk it to a 2-minute pre-call routine. Shoulders down, 2 minutes of 4 inches, 6 out breathing, gaze softening with a quick room sweep, then 1 sentence written at the top of the agenda. Ask 1 clear question. She opened every call by reading that line. Outcome? Slower speech, fewer fillers, and she could actually listen. Within 2 weeks, she booked the same revenue with half the call time because she stopped over-explaining and started diagnosing. Common mistakes: stacking words before gaze settles, writing long mantras, or turning the routine into a ritual you must perfect. Keep it dirty and repeatable. If you've only got 60 seconds, hit body, breath, and one micro approach. If you've got 3 minutes, run the full ladder. And if you feel yourself ramping mid-task, briefly widen your gaze and recue a short phrase. That's a mid-flight reset. If you remember nothing else, remember the ladder: body, breath, gaze, words, action, always in that order. Brain hack number 2, the internal evidence bank. External praise decays fast. Your brain adapts and asks for a bigger hit. Internal evidence compounds because it's based on controllables you repeat. So we're going to build an internal evidence bank, proof your nervous system accepts because you can produce it on demand. Here's why this matters. If your criteria live outside you, views, grades, approvals, you can't trigger safety when you need it. But if your criteria are inside and controllable, you can create proof today, which calms the system today.
That's how you break the "I'll feel safe when the results arrive" trap. Internal locus of control, self-efficacy builds via mastery experiences. What is it? A simple practice. Before a task, define 3 controllable success metrics. After the task, log proof within 60 minutes. That's it. The speed matters because memory reconsolidation is time sensitive. Waiting till tomorrow lets your brain rewrite the story with anxiety. We're going to capture reality while it's still fresh, reconsolidation windows. Updating emotional memory shortly after the event strengthens new learning. Let me show you how to set it up. Step 1. Set 3 controllable criteria tied to effort, learning, and integrity. Effort is what you do. Learning is what you discover. Integrity is how you behave under your values. For a meeting, effort might be ask
2 clarifying questions. Learning could be identify 1 unknown to research. Integrity might be keep answers under 60 seconds. These are binary or countable. You either did them or you didn't. No mood-based scoring. Step 2, run the task. Keep your anchor phrase handy from the safety reset, something like 1 clear point. Glance at your criteria once mid-task if you need a cue, but don't turn it into self-judgment. It's a runway, not a report card. Step 3, capture credits within 60 minutes. Use a quick template called credit capture. 3 lines: facts, skills used, improvements. Facts are objective. Ask 3 questions, wrapped in 28 minutes. Skills used might be structured summary, pausing, redirecting. Improvements are 1 notch, not a teardown. Next time, start with the decision to make. You're training your brain to see controllable wins and small next reps, which beats vague "I was fine" or "I bombed." Common mistakes? Vague criteria like "be confident." Swap it for behaviors that produce confident outcomes, such as "slow my first sentence" or "pause before answering." Another mistake is logging only outcomes. "They loved it" or "it flopped." That feeds the old circuit. Pull the lens back to inputs you could repeat tomorrow regardless of applause. Also, don't skip specifics. Good pacing means nothing to your brain. Kept answers under 60 seconds is measurable and replayable. Here's a quick win you can do today. After your next task, write 3 credits. 1 fact, 1 skill, 1 improvement. That's it. Do it once and you'll feel a small lift. Do it daily for a week and you'll notice decisions get easier because you finally have a bank to draw from when doubt spikes. Now you might be thinking, won't this make me robotic? Actually, it frees creativity. When safety comes from inputs you can control, you can take smarter risks on outputs. Your range expands because your self-worth isn't hostage to reactions. Counterintuitive, I know, but watch what happens after 7 logs. You'll try bolder ideas while staying anchored to process. Let me show you a quick example. A creator stuck refreshing analytics shifted to 3 criteria per video. Effort. Publish within 90 minutes of script. Learning. Test 1 hook variant. Integrity. No doom scrolling numbers for 1 hour post-publish. In the credit capture, they logged facts, shipped at 4:12 p.m., 2 hook variants tested, skills, tight scripting, A/B hook improvement, trim intro by 10 seconds. Engagement improved over a month, but more importantly, anxiety dropped in week 1 because wins showed up daily in controllables. If you remember nothing else about the evidence bank, remember the rule of 3. Set 3 controllables before, log 3 credits after, within 60 minutes. The repetition is what wires the change. You're not waiting for permission to feel capable. You're manufacturing capability signals on purpose. A quick note on rough days: if everything goes sideways, shrink the bar, not the habit. Keep 1 micro-criterion like open the doc and write 50 words, and 1 credit like wrote 52 words. Consistency beats intensity for wiring. That tiny deposit keeps the account open, so tomorrow isn't a restart. Advanced tweak for pros: tag trend lines weekly. Circle which criteria drove the best feel and performance. Upgrade 1 criterion per week, never all 3. That keeps difficulty progressive without tripping threat. Progressive overload principle applied to cognition behavior. For example, move ask 2 questions to ask 1 question that reframes the problem, but keep the other 2 steady. The reason this works is simple. You're aligning your brain's reward system with behaviors inside your control, so effort produces relief instead of rumination. Over time, your brain predicts, when I do my 3, I feel settled, and that prediction becomes self-fulfilling. Confidence stops being a mood and starts being a math problem you can solve daily. All right, criteria ready? Next, we'll refine how to measure what you can control so momentum sticks even when outcomes wobble.
measuring what you can control, process over outcome. Let's turn this into numbers you can actually drive. Outcomes are lagging indicators. Processes are levers. Convert every tempting outcome into inputs you can count today. If the outcome is get an A, the inputs are 2 retrieval sessions, 1 practice test, 1 office hours question. If the outcome is viral video, the inputs are write 3 hooks, record 1 take per hook, publish by 4 p.m. Inputs are reps, attempts, and learning moments, not reactions. Use the 3x3 metric: effort, learning, integrity, 3 per category. Start simple. Effort. Publish by 4 p.m. Ask 2 clarifiers. Write 200 words. Learning. Run 1 A/B hook. Note 1 unknown. Test 1 call to action. Integrity. No metrics for 60 minutes. Answers under 60 seconds. Credit 1 teammate. 9 total. You won't always hit all 9. You will always know what to do next. That clarity drops anxiety because uncertainty shrinks. Now here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Make it visible. Count it daily. Audit it weekly. A cheap whiteboard, a notes app, or a spreadsheet works. Put 3 columns labeled effort, learning, integrity with 3 bullets each. After the task, add check marks and a quick note. Facts, not vibes. End of week, tally checks and highlight 1 criterion to upgrade. You're building a trend, and trends quiet the day-to-day noise. Once you nail that, everything else clicks. You stop asking, was it good? And start asking, did I run my inputs? That's how you separate self-worth from outcomes without losing ambition. Ambition stays, panic goes. And because you're measuring behaviors, you can adjust mid-flight.
If you notice effort boxes are full, but learning boxes are empty, you're executing without experimenting. Add 1 deliberate test next round. The game changer nobody talks about is attempt counting. Attempts beat results for momentum. If you're a creator, count ideas drafted and hooks tested instead of likes. If you're in sales, count qualified conversations and clarifying questions, not just closed deals. If you're a student, count retrieval reps and problems worked, not just final scores. Attempts compound skill. Skill compounds outcomes, behavioral activation. Variable ratio outcome signals are volatile. Attempt-based reinforcement stabilizes motivation. Microstory. A student I coached was stuck refreshing likes on study posts. We killed likes and counted attempts. She set effort, 2 25-minute retrieval blocks, learning, 1 error log entry, integrity, no study TikTok until block's done. In 2 weeks, her time on task doubled, and the anxiety she used to spend on likes got recycled into practice. Grades rose later, but the calm showed up first because attempts were in her control. Retrieval practice effect. Spacing and generation improve retention. Common mistakes. Criteria that are too vague or too many. Keep it countable and under 10 total. Be concise becomes answers under 60 seconds. Network more becomes 1 reach out per day. Another mistake is hiding the tally. If it's not visible, it won't drive behavior. Put it where friction is low and eyeballs land daily. Now a quick win you can try today. Take your next task and write 9 inputs. 3 effort, 3 learning, 3 integrity. Circle 1 must do from each column. That's your floor. Hit the floor, log 3 credits, and walk away. On good days, you'll do all 9. On rough days, the floor prevents 0, which protects your confidence curve. If you remember nothing else, measure what you can control and make it visible. Inputs today create outcomes tomorrow, but inputs also create safety right now. Next, we'll lock that safety into identity so the evidence actually sticks. Brain hack number 3, the identity lock-in. Why does this matter? Because identity drives predictions and predictions drive feelings. If your identity is I'm probably a fluke, your brain will keep scanning for proof you're a fluke. But if your identity is role-based and behavior-linked, I'm the kind of person who runs my process. Your predictions shift to expect process, not perfection. That reduces threat before you start, which lets your skills show up. What are we actually doing? We'll create role-based identity statements tied to behaviors, not outcomes. Roles are stable containers: creator, student, manager, founder, engineer, designer. Behaviors are the small, observable actions you control daily. We'll pair 1 role line with 2 behaviors, then reinforce it with a weekly proof review. Simple, repeatable, and sticky. Here's the build. Step 1. Choose a role that matches your current arena, not your dream title. If you're learning to code, pick developer in training, not world-class engineer. The role should make room for growth without triggering fraud alarms. Step 2. Link 2 daily behaviors that are squarely in your control and aligned with your 3x3 metrics.
Step 3.
Phrase the identity as,
I'm the kind of person who, followed by those behaviors. Keep it short so you'll actually say it. Let me give you examples. Creator. I'm the kind of person who ships by 4 p.m. and tests 1 hook. Student. I'm the kind of person who does 2 retrieval blocks and logs 1 error. Manager. I'm the kind of person who asks 1 clarifier and ends on decisions. Founder. I'm the kind of person who runs 1 customer call and 1 bet review daily. See the pattern? Role plus 2 controllables. No outcomes, no applause required. Now, how do you use it? Habit pairing. Attach your role line to a trigger you already do. After brushing your teeth, opening your laptop, or walking through your office door. Say the line out loud, glance at your 2 behaviors, and then move into your safety reset if it's a high-stakes moment. After the task, run your credit capture and check whether you hit the behaviors. That closes the loop and feeds identity with proof. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. You don't need belief first. You need consistency first. The line is a cue, not a declaration of truth. The truth gets built by repeated behaviors. After 7 to 10 reps, your brain starts predicting, we're the person who does this, and the feeling follows. If you wait to feel like the identity before acting, you'll wait forever. Common mistakes to avoid. First, outcome labels. I'm a top performer. I'm a straight A student. I'm a viral creator. Those anchor your identity to reactions you don't control, which drags you back into the external validation circuit. Swap them for role plus behavior. Second, zero behaviors attached. I'm disciplined means nothing without actions. Third, no review cadence. If you don't review weekly, the identity doesn't get updated with fresh proof and it will fade. Let's lock in the review. Once a week, run a 5-minute proof review. Pull your credit capture entries, highlight where you hit your 2 behaviors, and tally the count. If you hit them 4 out of 7 days, great, you're building. If you hit them once, don't panic, shrink the behaviors. Make them easier than you think is reasonable. The goal is streaks, not heroics. Upgrade only 1 behavior per week, and only if your hit rate is above 70%. Micro story time. A new manager felt fraudulent in exec meetings and overcompensated by talking too much. We set a role line. I'm the kind of manager who asks 1 clarifier and summarizes 1 decision. She paired it with the doorway to the conference room and the first sip of water at her desk. After each meeting, she logged facts. Ask 2 clarifiers, summarize 2 decisions. Skills, pausing, framing, and improvement. Lead with decision request. 3 weeks later, she felt less like a guest and more like a peer. The title didn't change, the identity did. Another example. A student prepping for a Viva replaced be impressive with I'm the kind of student who does 2 retrieval blocks and asks 1 question in office hours. She paired the line with opening her notebook. After each day, she captured credits. Confidence rose not because praise increased, but because her brain started predicting that she'd do her 2 behaviors. Prediction error shrank, imposter feelings eased. What if doubt pops up? Good. Use it as a cue. Run your safety reset, say the identity line, and execute 1 behavior immediately. That fast approach step reteaches your brain that identity is action, not mood. If you're mid-task and start spiraling, re-cue the shortest behavior, ask 1 clarifier, write 50 words, test 1 hook, and let the identity hitch a ride on completion. Advanced tweak, build a tiny identity library. Keep 3 role lines for your main arenas and rotate based on the day's priority, but only run 1 per day. Too many identities split attention and dilute proof. Depth beats breadth for wiring. A quick win for today. Write 1 role line and 2 behaviors for tomorrow. Put it on your lock screen or a sticky note. When you start, speak it once. Then run your safety reset and do the smallest behavior within 60 seconds. After, log 3 credits. That single loop, line, safety, behavior, credit, will feel small. Do it for 5 days and you'll feel different because your predictions will be different. If you remember nothing else, identity follows behavior, behavior follows cues, and cues stick when you review proof. Make your identity role-based and process-tied, and your brain will stop asking for permission to feel real.
The daily anti-impostor loop. Here's how we turn all of this into a daily system you can actually run. 5 pieces, same order every time. Safety reset, set 3 controllables, do credit capture, identity line. 10 minutes in the morning to set up, 5 minutes after each meaningful task to close the loop. Safety before performance, process before outcomes, identity after proof. Start your morning with a quick baseline, 2 minutes of the downshift breath, a 30-second orienting. Sweep. Then write your 3 controllables for your most important task. 1 effort, 1 learning, 1 integrity. Keep them concrete and countable. Example for a deep work block. Effort. Write 300 words, learning. Test 1 outline variant, integrity. No inbox until done. That's your runway. Next, act. Don't wait for a perfect plan. Run the safety reset right before you start the task. Use a short anchor phrase like 1 clear step and take the smallest approach action within 60 seconds. Approach before perfection. If you notice yourself drifting, widen your gaze for 5 seconds and re-cue the phrase. That's your mid-flight reset. Fast, quiet, effective. After the task, close the loop within 60 minutes. 3-line credit capture. Facts, skills, improvement. Stay surgical. Facts might be wrote 342 words, finished at 9:48. Skills could be chunking, pacing, focus shifts. Improvement is 1 notch. Trim intro earlier. This is where your brain converts effort into safety. If you skip this, your old circuit will rush in with "was it good?" and drag you back to refreshing metrics. Then, identity lock-in. Say your role line once and check your 2 behaviors. I'm the kind of person who ships by 4 and tests 1 hook. Did you hit them? Tally a simple yes snuff. You're teaching your brain that who you are is what you repeatedly do, not how people react. 1 sentence, 2 behaviors, done. On a typical day, this whole loop takes 10 minutes to set and 5 minutes to close each block. The point is frictionless consistency. Put the prompts where you can't miss them. Sticky note on your keyboard, a recurring calendar block called loop set/close, or a shortcut in your notes app that opens a template for 3 controllables and credit capture. Make the default easy and the deviation obvious. Weekly, run a 5-minute review. Scan your credit captures and tally how often you hit your 3 controllables and your 2 identity behaviors. Circle 1 criterion to upgrade slightly and 1 that needs to get easier. Yes, easier. Keeping the habit alive beats optimizing prematurely. Progress comes from stable reps, not heroic bursts. Consistency beats intensity for neuroplastic change. What about rough days? Use the fallback called smallest viable version. Shrink everything but keep the sequence. Safety reset for 60 seconds, one micro-controllable per task, a one-line credit capture, and your identity line once. Open the doc and write 50 words. Ask one clarifier. No metrics for 15 minutes. The win is non-zero effort in order. That keeps the wiring intact, so tomorrow isn't a restart. Here's where most people mess up. They change the order when they're stressed. They jump to outcomes, then try to backfill safety. Don't. When anxiety spikes, return to the sequence. Breath and orient. One controllable, act, capture, identity. The order is the safety. Quick example. A founder with non-stop meetings ran the loop in micro. Before a call, 90 seconds of breath and orientation. Controllables on a sticky. Ask one decision question. Summarize next step. End on time. Then after, 3 credits. Over 2 weeks, his calls got shorter and clearer, and the 3 p.m. dread evaporated. Nothing mystical, just the loop. If you remember nothing else, run the same 5 steps in the same order every day. Safety, controllables, do, capture, identity. Keep it small, keep it visible, and let repetition do the heavy lifting.
High-stakes moments, meetings, publishing, interviews. Let's plug the loop into moments that spike threat the most. Meetings, publishing, and interviews. We'll pre-brief, run mid-flight anchors, and close within an hour so your brain stores the right lesson. Start with meetings. Pre-brief means setting controllables and process cues. 2 minutes before the room or Zoom, run your safety reset. Breath cadence, quick orient, micro approach by opening the agenda and highlighting your opener. Write 3 controllables on a sticky. Ask 1 clarifier, summarize 1 decision, end on time. Now visualize process, not praise. See yourself asking the clarifier, hear your summary, feel the pause before speaking. That's your cue stack. During the meeting, hold 1 anchor phrase, 1 clear point at a time. Pair it with breath cadence on your first sentence. Short exhale longer than inhale to keep pace steady. Micro approach behaviors. Ask your clarifier in the first 5 minutes. Take notes in bullets, and when the group converges, say, decision is X, next step is Y, owner is Z. If you go blank, widen your gaze briefly and touch your phrase again. That's your mid-flight reset. After, close the loop within 60 minutes. Credit capture, facts, ask 1 clarifier, summarize 2 decisions, ended at 28 minutes. Skills, framing, pacing, redirecting, improvement, lead with the decision needed next time. No ruminating about faces or tone. If a tough moment sticks, convert it to a controllable. When challenged, ask 1 question before answering. Now publishing. Pre-brief by clarifying controllables that prevent outcome chasing mid-flight. Effort, ship by a set time. Learning, test 1 hook or thumbnail. Integrity, block metrics for 60 minutes post-publish. Safety reset right before you open the editor. Micro approach is mechanically simple. Paste title and first paragraph, read the first sentence out loud, and hit schedule. Visualize process cues, cursor in the editor, timer at 60 seconds, the click on schedule. During publishing, keep your anchor phrase, start, then improve. If you catch yourself polishing the same sentence 3 times, that's your cue to widen gaze, breathe out, and move to the next section. If you feel the pull to check numbers, use friction. Close the tab, switch devices, or run a site blocker for an hour. Route that urge into your learning controllable. A, B, the hook or note 1 insight about structure you'll test tomorrow. After, credit capture within 60 minutes. Facts, published at 4:06 p.m., 2 hook variants. Skills, tightening intros, pattern breaks. Improvement, cut the setup by 3 lines next time. If comments land, don't credit praise, credit the controllable that likely drove it. Early payoff at 20 kept retention. That's how you teach your brain that your inputs produce momentum. Interviews next. Pre-brief with a tighter safety cadence plus rehearsal of micro approach. Controllables. Ask 1 clarifying question before any long answer. Share 1 story using a simple frame, context, action, result, and ask 1 question about the role's success metrics. Visualize process cues. You hear the question, you pause, you ask your clarifier, then you answer with 1 story. Run your safety reset, orient to the camera or room, and say your first line out loud. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about implementation intentions boost follow-through. During, keep your anchor phrase, answer, then ask. Pair it with breath on the first sentence of each response. If nerves spike, widen gaze to the edges of your screen or the room, soften your jaw, and continue. Micro approach behaviors you can count. 1 clarifier early, 1 concise story, 1 metrics question. If an answer meanders, stop and summarize. The key point is X. That resets both you and the interviewer. After, close the loop within 60 minutes. Facts. Ask 2 clarifiers, delivered 2 stories, ask the metrics question. Skills, concise framing, pausing, improvement, shorten the first story. If you receive a rejection later, don't reopen the loop. Add 1 line to a separate learning log. Add quantitative result to story 2. That keeps identity tied to process, not verdicts. Let me give you quick templates you can screenshot in your head. Meeting pre-brief, safety reset, anchor phrase, 3 controllables, clarify, summarize, end on time. During, ask early, breathe on first sentence, summarize decisions. After, facts, skills, improvement. Publishing pre-brief, safety reset, ship by time, test 1 hook, block metrics. During, start, then improve, no triple polish. After, facts, skills, improvement tied to structure. Interview pre-brief, safety reset, roll line once, 3 controllables, clarifier, 1 story, metrics question.
During, answer, then ask. Breath on first line. Summarize if lost. After credit capture. No outcome rumination window. Close within an hour to leverage reconsolidation. Here's the mistake to avoid across all three. Outcome chasing mid-flight. The moment you shift from process to how's this landing, your bandwidth collapses. When you notice that, treat it like a physical cue. Widen gaze, exhale longer, touch your anchor phrase, execute the next micro behavior you can count. That puts you back in the cockpit. If you remember nothing else here, pre-brief with controllables, anchor mid-flight, close within 60 minutes. High stakes get safer when the process is louder than the audience. Killing comparison, relevance filters, and feed hygiene. Let's kill the comparison spiral without killing your ambition. The rule is simple. Only compare where inputs and stage match. If their inputs aren't the ones you're using, and they're at a different stage, your brain files it under threat, not learning. Relevance first, then analysis.
As saying social comparison theory, lateral comparisons teach upward without context threatens. Create a comparison contract. It's 3 lines you'll write once and follow daily. Line 1, who you can compare with. Pick 2 to 3 peers whose inputs you can actually see. Same niche, similar constraints, and they share their process. Not celebrities with teams you can't replicate. Line 2, what you'll compare. Inputs only. Publishing cadence, hook tests, call structure, study reps, not outputs like views or raises. Line 3, when you'll compare. A single scheduled weekly window, not whenever the feed tempts you. Outside that window, you're off the market. Now feed hygiene. Your feed is an IV drip to your nervous system. If it pumps you with unpredictable status signals, you'll stay jumpy. Mute metrics where you can. Turn off like counts, hide view numbers, or use extensions that blur dashboards for the first hour of your work block. Curate teachers, not idols. Follow people who show their inputs and breakdowns, not just their wins. Cap exposure windows, 2 slots, 15 minutes after your weekly review to learn, 10 minutes midweek to collect 1 idea to test. Set a timer, then leave. Here's the game changer nobody talks about. Replace envy with analysis immediately. When you feel that sting, don't argue with it. Root it. Ask 3 questions. What input did they likely use? What stage are they at compared to me? What tiny test can I run this week to close one piece of that gap? Then write a 1-line practice block you'll execute. Test a 5-second cold open. Ask 1 clarifier earlier. Run 1 retrieval block at 5 p.m. Envy becomes a to-do, not a mood. Reappraisal plus action orientation reduces rumination. Once you nail that, everything else clicks. You stop doom scrolling for permission and start mining for patterns. The reason this works is you're converting an uncontrollable outcome, someone else's highlight, into a controllable input, your next experiment. Your nervous system reads action available, and the threat signal drops. Let me show you exactly how to set this up today. Open a note titled Comparison Contract. Write, who? 3 peers with visible process. What? Cadence, tests, structure, no metrics. When Friday, 4:30 to 4:45 p.m. review, Wednesday, 10-minute scan. Next, clean your feed. Mute or unfollow accounts that post outputs without inputs. Add 2 accounts that publish breakdowns and show test lists. Install a site blocker profile called Post Hour that hides analytics for 60 minutes after you publish. Put a sticky note on your monitor. Inputs or out. Microstory. A creator I coached spiraled after seeing a peer's viral post. We ran the contract on the spot. Who? 3 peers with similar schedules. What? Hook length, payoff timing, posting cadence. When Friday review, midweek scan. She muted numbers for the first hour, then converted envy into a test. Move payoff to 15. Within a month, retention rose. But the big win happened week 1. No more panic refreshes. The feed stopped being a slot machine and became a library. Common mistakes to avoid. First, comparing across stages. If they've posted daily for 5 years and you're at 5 weeks, their outputs are noise for you. Second, comparing invisible inputs. You can't copy a team's editing pipeline you don't see. Third, using comparison as a constant backdrop. If it's not scheduled, it's sabotage. Fourth, analysis paralysis, collecting 10 ideas and testing none. Limit yourself to 1 test per week, tied to your evidence bank. A quick win for today. Write your comparison contract and mute 1 metric source that hooks you hardest. Then, when envy pings, route it to 1 test you'll run in the next 48 hours. After you execute, log 3 credits. Fact, skill, improvement to lock the lesson. Remember, relevance filters protect your safety. Feed hygiene protects your focus. Tests convert comparison into growth. Make it stick. Habit design and triggers. Let's make all of this automatic. Habits remove debate, and debate drains safety. We'll design triggers that fire the loop without willpower. Cues you already touch, friction that blocks bad urges, and tiny rewards that reinforce behaviors, not outcomes. Start with anchoring the safety reset to calendar events and doorways. If it's on your calendar, it gets a trigger. Add SR before high-stakes blocks. When the reminder pings, you run the 3-minute protocol before you open the doc or join the room. Doorways are even better. Every time you cross into a meeting room or click join, that's your cue. 1 slow exhale, soft gaze, anchor phrase, micro approach. Doors equal downshift. Make that association so strong your body starts the reset before your mind argues. Next, pair the evidence bank with end-of-task automation cues. Reduce clicks, reduce excuses. Create a repeating note template titled Credit Capture Today that opens with a keyboard shortcut. Or set a calendar auto-pop to nudge you 30 minutes after key blocks, log 3 credits.
For tools, use what you already live in. Notes, Notion, Apple Reminders, Google Tasks, so it's one tap from done. The cue is task completion, the action is 3 lines, the payoff is a small check mark and a tiny breath of relief you name out loud. Credits done. Your identity line belongs where your eyes land. Put it on your lock screen, mirror, or the top of your daily doc. Say the role line, touch your 2 behaviors with your finger, then move. Habit stack it with a behavior you never miss. Brushing teeth, making coffee, opening your laptop. No monologues. 1 sentence. 2 behaviors go. This stacks identity on top of safety and evidence, so the 3 reinforce each other instead of living in separate worlds. Use friction like a pro. Outcome metrics hijack attention during the most vulnerable window. Block them on purpose for the first hour post-publish or post-meeting. Set a focus mode or install a site blocker profile called post-hour. The trigger is I just shipped. The rule is no dashboards for 60 minutes. Replace the urge with your learning task. A, be a hook, outline a new opener, or write 1 error from an exam. You're redirecting the itch into practice. Rewards matter, but tie them to behaviors, not numbers. When you hit your 3 controllables or your 2 identity behaviors, do a tiny celebration that's consistent and quick. A breath and a fist tap. A sticker on a physical calendar. A 20-second walk outside with sunlight. Keep it simple and embodied. You're telling your nervous system, this is the win. If you only celebrate outcomes, you'll subconsciously wait for outcomes to feel okay again. Habit loop, immediate reinforcement of the behavior strengthens the cue routine link. Design environment prompts. Put a sticky note on your monitor that reads safety 3 ship credit identity. Put your 3x3 grid in view. Put a pen where your hand rests. Remove friction by pre-creating tomorrow's templates at day's end. A blank 3x3, a credit capture note, your role line visible. When the path is paved, your brain picks it without drama. Choice architecture. Make the desired action the path of least resistance. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to perfect the routine before they install it. Keep it stupid easy for 10 days. Set a 2-minute safety reset, 3 controllables max, 1 credit capture, 1 identity line. Once it's automatic, you can add flavor. If you pile on 5 tools at once, you'll drop them all when stress hits. Let me give you a simple daily scaffold. Morning, safety reset for 2 minutes. Write your 3 controllables on a card. Speak your identity line. Before any high-stakes action, micro approach within 60 seconds. After, credit capture in under 2 minutes. Sticker on the calendar. Evening, set tomorrow's blank templates and place them where you'll see them first.
That's 10 minutes total and it runs the whole system. Microstory. A designer kept skipping credit capture because meetings stacked back to back. We added a recurring 2-minute event called 3 credits right after stand-up, plus a text expander shortcut that dumped the template into notes. The friction vanished. Within a week, her anxiety before design reviews dropped because her brain expected credits afterward. Same work, new wiring. 1 more lever. Social triggers. Pair up with a friend or teammate and send a daily 3 controllables text at 9 a.m. and a 3 credits text by 5 p.m. No commentary, just the lists. It's lightweight accountability that keeps the loop alive without turning it into a performance. If you hit resistance, shrink it. Can't do 3 minutes? Do 60 seconds. Can't write 3 credits? Write 1 fact. Can't say the identity line. Touch the card. The habit exists if the queue fires and aversion runs. Respect the order. Relax the size. Quick win today. Pick 1 doorway trigger, 1 automation Q4.
Credits, 1 metric block for post-publish, and 1 tiny celebration. Set them up now. Tomorrow, you won't think, you'll just run the loop. Troubleshooting, common mistakes and fixes. Let's clean up the snags that break the loop. If any of these sting, good, that means you've found leverage. Doing the hacks out of order. When stress hits, people jump straight to outcomes or long reframes, then wonder why nothing sticks. Fix, return to sequence. Run a 90-second safety reset. Longer exhale, quick room orient, then choose 1 controllable and execute it inside 60 seconds. After, capture 3 credits and say your role line once. Think, calm, controllable, action credits identity. The order is non-negotiable when you're wobbly. Turning the safety reset into a ritual you must perfect. You start counting breaths like a test and spike anxiety. Fix, keep it dirty. If you lose the count, exhale longer than you inhale and move on. 2 quiet minutes beats perfect technique. The win is a downshift, not a scoreboard. Logging praise, not proof. They loved it. Great comments. Boss smiled. That feeds the dependency loop and starves your evidence bank. Fix. Swap applause for actions. Log facts you controlled. Asked 2 clarifiers. Shipped at 4:02. Ended at 27 minutes. And the skills used: framing, pausing, redirecting. If you want to mention a reaction, connect it to a controllable. Retention held after early payoff. Praise is optional. Proof is required. Overcomplicating criteria. 9 lines turn into a spreadsheet that needs a meeting. You stop because the tool feels heavier than the task. Fix. Use the 3x3 and make each line countable. Replace be concise with answers under 60 seconds. Replace prep more with write 3 bullet points. If you're still stuck, pick 1 must-do from each column and treat the rest as bonus. Skipping the weekly review. Without a 5-minute tally, difficulty drift sneaks in. Too hard, you bail. Too easy, you stall. Fix. Calendar a repeating 5-minute review with a 1-line script. Tally hits, circle one criterion to upgrade slightly, downgrade one that failed 3 times, and pick one test for the coming week. Close with a tiny celebration. Future you needs the trend line, not a memoir. Relapse after a flop, a bad meeting or harsh comment, and the old loop roars back. The instinct is to make up for it with a big push. That cements the fear. Fix, run reset 24. For the next 24 hours, shrink everything. Safety reset to 60 seconds, 1 controllable per block, 1 fact credit only, identity line once. No metrics. You're rebuilding trust with tiny wins, not redeeming yourself with a masterpiece. Outcome chasing mid-flight. You catch yourself thinking, how's this landing? And your brain freezes. Fix, install a mid-flight reset. Widen gaze to the edges. Long exhale. Touch your anchor phrase. 1 clear point, and execute the next micro behavior you can count. Ask 1 clarifier. Summarize 1 decision. Write 50 words. That's your emergency break.
Fake it, without feedback design. You perform confidence, then never log evidence. Your brain files the event under survive danger. Fix, pre-plan 1 controllable you'll definitely hit and 1 learning you'll capture after. Close within 60 minutes. The feeling you're chasing comes from that close, not the performance. Identity lines that are outcome labels. I'm a top performer. I'm a viral creator. Those boomerang on rough days. Fix, roll +2 behaviors. I'm the kind of designer who ships by 4 and runs 1 user call. Review weekly. Upgrade 1 behavior only when your hit rate is above 70%. Using the tools as avoidance. You spend 20 minutes perfecting the grid instead of sending the email. Fix, rule of 60. If you've been in setup more than 60 seconds, you must take a micro approach action. Type the first line, ask 1 clarifier, paste the title. Tools should tilt you into action, not replace it. Comparing across stages and invisible inputs. You copy techniques you can't see and feel behind. Fix, apply your comparison contract. If inputs and stage don't match, it's not data, it's drama. Route envy into 1 test you'll run this week and log it in your evidence bank. Expecting belief before action. You wait to feel like the person who runs the loop. Fix, consistency first, belief second. Say the line as a cue, not a verdict, then execute 1 behavior immediately. Belief follows prediction, and prediction follows repeated behavior. Let me give you a quick diagnostic you can run when stuck. Ask 5 questions in order. Did I downshift first? Did I set 1 controllable I can do now? Did I take a micro approach inside 60 seconds? Did I capture 3 credits within an hour? Did I review my 2 identity behaviors this week? Where you answer no, that's your fix. Don't add tools, restore sequence. 1 more subtle trap, hiding the tally. If your inputs aren't visible, the day will drift. Fix, put your 3x3 where your eyes land and mark it.
Live. A pen stroke beats a mental note. Visibility turns intention into behavior. Quick win today. Pick the 1 mistake you make most, write its fix on a sticky, and place it where the mistake happens. Outcome chasing, widen gaze +1 clarifier. Skipping credits, 30-minute alarm, log facts. Small, obvious, and right in your path. Advanced, testing beliefs with behavioral experiments. Now that the loop is running, let's upgrade how you relate to scary predictions. We're going to turn beliefs into tests. Not debates, tests. You'll write a prediction, design a low-stakes experiment with clear controllables, collect data, and update the belief's weight without touching your identity. Start with the format. If I do X, Y will happen. Keep Y specific and measurable enough to check. Then cap the risk. We're testing predictions, not your career. Pick a context you can repeat this week so you get clean data fast. Here's the why. Your brain runs on predictions. Imposter feelings surge when predictions scream, danger if imperfect. If you never run controlled tests, those beliefs never get falsified. They just feel true. Behavioral experiments create safe prediction errors that shrink fear and grow skill. What to test? Grab 1 belief that keeps you playing small. Examples. If I publish with an imperfect thumbnail, retention will tank. If I ask a clarifying question, they'll think I'm unprepared. If I don't overprep, I'll freeze. Now the design. 4 parts: context, controllables, observation window, and criteria for updating weight. Context. Choose a repeatable scenario. 2 posts this week, 3 meetings, 1 study session per day. Controllables, set 2 to 3 inputs you'll hold constant, so the test isolates the belief. For the thumbnail example, ship by 4 p.m., test 1 imperfect but legible thumbnail versus your usual polished style. Keep the hook timing identical. Observation window. Decide when and for how long you'll collect data. 60 minutes after publish for early retention signals you can see, or a 24-hour snapshot if that's your norm. In meetings, note reactions in real time and log immediately after. Criteria. Define what evidence would loosen the belief, what would strengthen it, and what's inconclusive. For example, if early retention drops less than 3% versus my baseline, belief weight loosens. If it drops more than 10% twice, weight strengthens. Anything in between is inconclusive. We retest. Let me walk you through a creator test. Prediction. If I post with a rough thumbnail, watch time craters. Design. 2 videos this week, same topic complexity and hook cadence. 1 polished thumbnail, 1 rough but clear text. Controllables. Ship both by 4 p.m., block metrics for 60 minutes, A/B hook for learning. Observation, snapshot early audience retention at the 1-hour mark and day 1. Criteria, less than 5% difference equals belief loosens, more than 10% twice equals belief strengthens. Result, first run showed a 2% drop early, 1 to 2% by day 1. Belief weight dropped from 0.8 to 0.5. Outcome didn't crown a winner forever, it just trimmed fear and freed time. Meeting test. Prediction, if I ask a clarifying clarifier early, they'll think I'm clueless. Design, 3 meetings this week. Controllables. Ask 1 clarifier in the first 5 minutes. Keep answers under 60 seconds. Summarize 1 decision. Observation. Count interruptions. Note whether the group's response clarifies faster and whether decisions arrive sooner. Criteria. If interruptions don't increase and decisions land faster in 2 out of 3, belief loosens. Many people discover the opposite of their fear. Clarity earns respect. Rambling invites interruption. Study test. Prediction. If I replace rereading with retrieval, my quiz score drops. Design 2 days, same topic blocks. Day A, reread for 30 minutes. Day B, retrieval practice. 2 10-minute recall sets with a 10-minute review. Controllables. Same time of day, no music, same break length. Observation. Same day self-quiz with random questions. Criteria. If recall accuracy is equal or better on day B, belief weight loosens. Students usually see worse vibes but better scores.
That mismatch is exactly what we want to surface and correct. Key rule: update belief weight, not identity narrative. Don't write, I was wrong, I'm such a fool. Write, belief weight from 8 to 5 based on 2 trials. Retest next week. You're a scientist running sprints, not a judge handing out verdicts. Cognitive diffusion. Quantify beliefs to reduce fusion with thoughts. Common mistakes. Testing too many variables at once. Keep one variable in play. Making the stakes too high. Run microtests where misses don't hurt. Peaking mid-test, block metrics until your window. Overreacting to 1 data point, set a minimum of 2 to 3 reps before updating weight significantly. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Pre-write your if loosened, then I'll do X action. If the thumbnail fear loosens, you'll cap thumbnail time at 10 minutes for the next 5 posts. If the clarifier fear loosens, you'll ask it in the first 5 minutes by default. Data should change behavior, not just sit in a note. Build a library of disconfirmed fears. One note titled Experiments with columns, belief, test design, trials, result, updated weight, next action. Review monthly during your weekly review slot. Pick 1 new belief to test and retire one you've downgraded below 3/10. That rhythm prevents old fears from creeping back in disguised as wisdom. If you remember nothing else, write the prediction, cap the stakes, test 1 variable, log within an hour, and update weight, not identity. Evidence beats anxiety when you create it on purpose. Role-specific playbooks, creators, students, managers, founders. Let's plug the loop into 4 roles so you can see the exact controllables that matter and how to run them fast. Creators first. Your enemy is outcome chasing mid-flight. Your playbook, daily cadence, ship by a set time, test 1 element, block metrics for 60 minutes. 3x3 examples. Effort, publish by 4 p.m., script under 900 words, record in 1 take per hook. Learning, A-B. The first 5 seconds, swap a pattern break at 20. Log 1 viewer question to answer next video. Integrity, no analytics for 60 minutes, 1 sentence opener, credit a source in description. Anchor phrase, start, then improve. Credit capture, facts, time shipped, tests run, skills, tightening, pacing, pattern breaks, improvement, move payoff earlier or trim setup. Weekly review, tally which tests lifted retention or reduced edit time. Upgrade 1 criterion only. Common traps, polishing forever, chasing trends you can't see inputs for, breaking the no analytics rule. Fix with friction, blockers post-publish, and a visible 3x3 next to your editor. Identity line, I'm the kind of creator who ships by 4 and tests 1 hook. Students next. Your enemy is busy work that feels safe but doesn't encode. Your playbook, daily cadence, 2 retrieval blocks, 1 error log, 1 office hours touch weekly. 3x3 examples. Effort, 2 25-minute retrieval sets, 1 mixed practice quiz, teach back for 5 minutes. Learning, log 3 errors with fixes, 1 concept map, 1 why question. Integrity, no rereading highlight loops, phone in another room, stop at a planned time. Anchor phrase, recall, then review. Credit capture, facts, 2 blocks done, 3450s correct. Skills, chunking, spacing, generation. Improvement, add spaced review on Tuesday. Weekly review, upgrade 1 input, longer spacing, harder questions, only after you consistently log credits. Common traps, rereading to feel fluent, cramming, skipping error logs. Fix with a visible retrieval timer and an error log template you open with a shortcut. Identity line, I'm the kind of student who does 2 retrieval blocks and logs 1 error. Illusions of competence from rereading, testing effect beats passive review. Managers, your enemy is filling air instead of driving clarity. Your playbook, daily cadence, 1 crisp 1-to-1, 1 decision log entry, public credit once. 3x3 examples. Effort, ask 1 clarifier in each meeting. End on decisions and owners, write a 2-line decision log. Learning, note 1 pattern causing rework. Run 1 small experiment in agenda structure. Request 1 piece of upward feedback. Integrity, start and end on time. Speak last after asking. Credit a teammate in channel. Anchor phrase, clarify, then decide. Credit capture, facts, 2 clarifiers, 3 decisions with owners. Skills, framing, pacing, summarizing. Improvement, lead with the decision needed in kickoff. Weekly review, examine the decision log for cycle time. Upgrade 1 controllable, e.g., agenda with decision question becomes default. Common traps, status meetings without decisions, rescuing instead of coaching, skipping debriefs.
Fix with a standing decision and owner line in every agenda and a 5-minute debrief ritual. Identity line. I'm the kind of manager who asks one clarifier and ends on decisions. Founders. Your enemy is conflating speed with bets you can't survive. Your playbook. Daily cadence, one customer conversation, one bet review, one written update. 3x3 examples. Effort, run one customer call, write a one-page bet doc, send a brief investor/team update.
Learning. Define success metric before building. Capture one disconfirmed assumption. Run one pricing or messaging test. Integrity. Time box exploration. No feature merges without success criteria. Credit the team publicly. Anchor phrase. Small bets, fast learn. Credit capture. Facts. One call, one bet doc. Update sent. Skills. Synthesis. Prioritization. Saying no. Improvement. Tighten metric before next test. Weekly review. Audit bet sizing and time on learning versus building. Upgrade one controllable, shorter loops, or tighter metrics. Common traps. Building without a test. Fundraising narratives replacing customer signals. Reacting to competitor launches. Fix with a visible bet board. Hypothesis. Metric. Time box.
Decision date. Identity line. I'm the kind of founder who runs one customer call and one bet review daily. For all roles, the loop is identical. The controllables change. Safety reset before high stakes. 3 controllables per task. Micro approach inside 60 seconds. Credit capture within an hour. And a roll line paired with 2 behaviors. Keep the inputs countable, make them visible, and run weekly upgrades one at a time. That's how you turn feel like a fraud into run my process, regardless of the arena you're in. Micro stories, quick wins from real people. A perfectionist product marketer kept delaying launches to polish messaging. We flipped her day to the loop. Safety reset, 3 controllables, ship by 2 p.m., test one headline, ask one clarifier in stand-up, then credit capture. Week 1, she shipped 4 days in a row, logged facts and 1 improvement each time. Her director noticed tighter decisions, but the real shift was inside. The 1 p.m. dread vanished because her brain expected the close. An anxious grad prepped for a Viva by rereading notes. We swapped in the safety reset and a student playbook, 2 retrieval blocks, 1 error log, 1 office hours question. She wrote an identity line on her notebook. I'm the kind of student who recalls, then reviews. After 7 days, she reported fewer blankouts and clearer answers. Grades came later. Calm came first because attempts were countable. A new engineering manager felt exposed in cross-functional reviews. We built a roll line. I ask one clarifier and end on decisions. And a meeting 3x3. Clarify early, summarize decision, end on time. After each meeting, she logged 3 credits. By week 3, interruptions dropped, cycle time shortened, and she stopped over-explaining. The label leader didn't make her safer. Consistent behaviors did. A solo creator who compulsively checked analytics, installed feed hygiene, blocked metrics for 60 minutes, followed 2 breakdown accounts, and wrote a comparison contract. Envy became tests, payoff at 15, 1 hook variant per video. Anxiety fell in days, retention nudged up over a month, and editing time dropped 20% because polishing gave way to shipping. A founder drowning in context switches adopted microloops between calls. 90-second safety reset, sticky with 3 controllables, decision question, next step, owner, then quick credits. After 2 weeks, his team updates were shorter, decisions clearer, and the 3 p.m. slump disappeared. He didn't become fearless. He became predictable to himself. What did they all avoid? Vague goals, outcome chasing mid-flight, and skipping the close. What did they add? Countable inputs, visible tallies, and a 5-minute weekly review. Today's nudge: pick one story you relate to, copy its exact controllables, and run them once. Checkpoint summaries, if you remember nothing else. Safety before performance. Regulate first, breath, orient, anchor, then execute a micro approach within 60 seconds so your nervous system predicts action, not panic. Evidence must be internal and controllable. Set 3 controllables before, capture 3 credits after, within 60 minutes. Log fact skills and 1 improvement. Praise is optional, proof is required. Identity follows behaviors. Use I'm the kind of person who plus 2 daily actions tied to your role. Say it as a cue, then do 1 behavior. Review weekly, upgrade slowly. Run the daily loop in order. Safety reset 3 controllables. Do credit capture identity line. Keep the sequence on a card where your eyes land. Shrink size on rough days, never the order. Measure what you can control and make it visible. Use the 3x3, effort, learning, integrity on a whiteboard or note. Tally daily, audit weekly, and adjust 1 criterion at a time. Comparison needs relevance filters. Only compare on inputs with peers at a similar stage during a scheduled window. Convert envy into 1 test you'll run this week. When stressed, restore sequence, not stories. Widen gaze, long exhale, touch your phrase, execute the next accountable behavior. Close within an hour so your brain stores the right lesson. Rapid FAQ, short answers to sticky questions. What if my boss only cares about outcomes? You still control inputs. Translate outcomes into process metrics you can show. Before a project, write 3 controllables that map to the outcome. Milestone by date, 2 risk checks, 1 stakeholder update per week. Send a short weekly note with those inputs and decisions made. You're not begging for approval. You're making progress visible so outcomes feel less random. How do I handle anonymous hate or harsh comments? 2 layers, feed hygiene and no rumination windows. Block metrics and comments for the first hour after you publish. Later, run a 3-line sort, delete pure abuse, park subjective opinions, extract 1 testable input. If a comment points at structure, slow start, convert it to a test. Move the payoff earlier next time. Don't put opinions in your evidence bank. Only tests and controllables get logged. Can I be ambitious without external validation? Yes. Aim high, measure inputs. Set internal targets for reps, experiments, and cycle time. For a big goal, define the ladder. Weekly ship cadence, tests per week, learning milestones. Ambition lives in scope and tempo, not in likes. Use your weekly review to upgrade 1 controllable that actually moves you toward that goal, and celebrate the input streaks that make it inevitable. What if I slip back for weeks? Run Reset 24 then.
Rebuild 3. Reset 24, 60-second safety, 1 controllable, 1 fact credit, 1 identity cue, no metrics. Rebuild 3, 3 days of the full loop at the smallest viable size. Don't add new tools during this window. Once the streak is back, upgrade 1 criterion only. You're restoring predictability first, momentum follows. How long until I feel different? Safety shifts fastest, identity lags. Most people feel a downshift in the first week if they actually run the safety reset and close within an hour. Evidence confidence shows up in 10 to 14 days of logging credits. Identity predictions update around 2 to 4 weeks of hitting 2 behaviors most days. You don't wait for the feeling, you let repetition create it. What if my work truly requires perfection? Separate stakes from steps. In high precision fields, the process still starts with safety and controllables, checklists, peer reviews, deliberate pauses. Perfection is the outcome of reliable inputs, not endless anxiety. Use pre-brief checklists as your controllables and credit capture to log which checks prevented errors. You're building rigor without burning your nervous system. How do I stop over-prepping? Use a prep cap and a start trigger. Set a hard cap, say 30 minutes. Define 3 prep controllables and add 1 micro-approach you must do when the timer ends. Then ship or step into the room. Capture credits immediately after. The cap teaches your brain that action follows prep, always. What if I'm new and truly underqualified? Choose an identity that fits your stage. In training, junior, apprentice. Then pick behaviors that compound skill. Daily reps, error logs, asking 1 clarifier. You're not faking seniority, you're proving consistency. Your brain and your peers trust consistency faster than labels. How do I handle a bad review or public flop? Close the loop, don't relive it. Within 60 minutes, log 3 credits you controlled and 1 improvement you'll test. Then run Reset 24. No metrics, tiny wins only. Schedule the test. The lesson lives in the test, not in the replay. What if teammates keep outcome chasing mid-meeting? Install process publicly. Open with the decision needed. Share your 3 controllables aloud. 1 clarifier, summarize decision, end on time, and write decisions with owners as you go. You're modeling the loop. Often the room follows the clearest process. How do I choose my 3 controllables when the task is messy? Use the 3x3 lens. Effort, learning, integrity. Effort is the smallest countable piece of progress. Learning is 1 test or question. Integrity is a boundary that protects quality. If you're stuck, make effort the smallest possible rep and let learning be right the next question to ask. What if I don't have time for credit capture? You don't have time not to. Make it 60 seconds, 1 fact, 1 skill, 1 improvement. Use a text expansion or template so it's 2 keystrokes. Without the close, your brain rewrites the story with outcomes and anxiety grows. How do I stop comparing to people way ahead? Enforce your comparison contract. If inputs and stage don't match, it's not data. Mute, unfollow, or tuck those accounts into a weekly learning folder. Route any envy that slips through into a single test you will run within 48 hours. Then log it. Tests are your antidote. Can I run multiple identities at once? Keep 1 primary identity line per day. You can keep a small library for your roles, but don't split your attention in a single block. Depth wires faster than breadth. Rotate by day or by block, not minute to minute. What if my role changes or I switch projects? Update the role label, keep the behaviors. Swap student for analyst or creator for PM, then map 2 behaviors that match the new controllables. The loop doesn't change, the inputs do. How do I know the loop is working? Your signals. You start faster, you ruminate less, you can name the next test, and you feel a steady baseline even when outcomes wobble. The weekly review shows streaks on inputs. That's the system compounding. One last sticky one. Won't focusing on inputs make me ignore results? No, results are reviewed on schedule, not mid-flight. Weekly, you connect inputs to outcomes and upgrade 1 criterion. During the work, inputs protect performance. After the work, outcomes inform inputs. That separation is how pros stay calm and get better. Imposter feelings are prediction errors you can retrain by installing safety first, capturing internal evidence, and locking identity to behaviors you control. Run the loop today. Safety reset. 3 controllables. Do. Credit capture. Identity line. Drop your 3 controllables in the comments, subscribe for the advanced feedback design video, and watch the decision fatigue episode next to upgrade your process under pressure.